Hi, this is part 2 of a series we've been discussing about does passion pay, does creativity pay. My name is Robert Belle, a champion of creativity. I am an accountant, I am a business mentor, I am a coach, I am an ambassador of wellness and a pursuer of excellence. I'm here to help us really demystify and debunk this theory that creativity doesn't pay, that you can't follow your passion. First part of this series, we answer that question and we're comfortable that yes, creativity does pay. But here's a challenge that's related to it. Because when we follow our passions, a lot of us, it may not pay, or we may not have had such a good experience. And I want to use this scenario where someone moves from employment and becomes an entrepreneur or self-employed or starts their own business. What an exciting time. And most of the times that happens because someone has a passion. They're like, I love what I do. I'm doing it for a company. I'm making them a lot of money. So I want to go make my own money, because I know I can get paid for this. And they start their own business, or maybe you've started your own business. And as the statistics show us, about 80% of those small businesses, they fail in the first year. It's painful. It's traumatic. It's traumatic. And what makes it worse is that when you're not mentally prepared and your mindset hasn't been coached on how to become an entrepreneur or how to manage the ups and downs of business, a lot of us take the failure very personal. We take the failure personal and as if it's a reflection on our abilities, as if it's a reflection on our skills. And that way we convince ourselves that our passion was useless. Our passion was just a hobby. It doesn't pay. But listen, have you run a business before? Maybe you had and it failed. Did you go and you don't learn how to run a business by going to business school, right? You learn to run a business by running a business. And this is what I tell a lot of my clients, because I work a lot with small business owners, is usually the first year of your business, you're learning how to run a business. You're not really learning, you're not really executing on the passion that you have. So many of us, we don't take that time to first learn how to run the business. And you can avoid and accelerate that learning process by getting a coach, right? As I've said in a previous video, that learning has to be experience, through an experience, experiential. It has to be personalized. You can't learn how to run a business by sitting in a classroom, right? What you can do, you can shadow someone else, or someone who has been through business can help you through that process. I work with so many small business owners. And what I say, I don't just work on the hardware. This is how you should set up your business. These are the structures you should put in place. I work on the software, the mindset of the business owner, the mindset of the entrepreneur, the mindset of the CEO. Because if you're still stuck in the mindset you had as an employee, you're gonna struggle to run the business. And so creativity and passion does pay, but that doesn't mean that it's automatically gonna pay. You still have to understand the rules of business. You gotta understand your numbers. Warren Buffett says all the time, accounting is the language of business. You gotta learn how to read financial statements. You have to understand the tax environment you're operating in. You have to understand this. It doesn't mean that you're an expert, but you need to know the implications. You need to know what you need to do. You need to know who you need to partner with. You need to know how to manage your cash flow. These are some skill sets that you need to learn as an entrepreneur. You have to be well-rounded. You have to be universal. But oftentimes we want to follow our passion and only do the passion. Now, I hear a lot of celebrities, a lot of people say, listen, I've made a lot of money, I'll hire an accountant to do it. I don't necessarily subscribe to that school of thought that let me just focus on the technical parts of it and my accountant and lawyer will handle that. I totally agree. Let the professionals do the professional thing. But you need to understand or have a basic understanding of what law is. How does law operate? How does finances work? Particularly the finances, right? Because that's intimate. That is, you need to know how your money is flowing. You can't just say my accountant got me. He's my cousin, he's my bro, we grow up together. Look, there's something that we say in the finance profession. Trust, but verify. You have to be able to verify. I trust you. And if I trust someone to manage my estate, my affairs, and they're just not competent enough, or they just don't have my best interest in heart, I can trust them. But if they just don't have the ability to, then I'm not going to get the results that I'm expecting. And that's why it's good to have a coach. When you want to pursue your passion and you want to get paid from it, find someone to guide you along the way. Find someone to direct you, to mentor you, to point you in the right direction. And that's what I do with small business owners, because I've seen too many entrepreneurs and just give up. And let me tell you something. If you've never run a business or had a business fail on you, you may not appreciate the traumatic experience that causes in your life. Some people just retreat back into the safety of employment, where there's conformity and compliance, because that's where they find safety and comfort. But you're not called to do that. If you started a business and it failed, you're called to get at it again, to try it again. And you know what? You don't have to leave your job to let your creativity or your passions pay you. You can create multiple streams of income. You can do it on the side, as they say. You can have a YouTube channel. There's so many YouTubers who started off shooting their YouTube content while they were employed. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. You know, the economy in which we are living in right now, it calls for a lot of people who will be contract sort of based employees. You know, this employment for life, permanent and pensionable, 40 years in one role it's just not gonna happen. It's gone, because the environment is changing so quickly. You know, the consumer needs are changing so rapidly, and you have to be able to adjust and change with that. That's why when you develop your creativity, not even just as an entrepreneur, but even as an employee, you have to be able to continuously evolve, continuously upskill yourself so that you can move, because business models are changing so quickly. The horizon for business process reengineering, for strategic change, is shortening, becoming very, very shorter and shorter as time goes by. And you have to be able to adjust your sail with all of the different winds, all the different direction the winds is blowing in. All right. So here's my tip. Try not to take the failure as an entrepreneur of your passion endeavors too personal. Figure it out, reframe the problem, get someone to help you reframe the problem, see where you went wrong, be willing to admit where you went wrong, be willing to accept the help that you need. And it's not about money. It's not about I don't have money to pay someone. There's so many ways in which you can get knowledge. There's so many ways, right, that you can learn this experience. But at some point, you have to be willing to pay to get the help that you need. And if you're an entrepreneur and you don't see the value in paying for advice, then I think you might be in the wrong line of business, my friend. Now, on the other end of the spectrum are, say, for example, someone who's an employee who doesn't really take the failure of a company too personal. You know, I mean, sometimes we're just satisfied. I'm doing my job. I'm getting my salary at the end of the month. So whatever happens, the direction of the company, we're not invested in it. And if you want to get a competitive advantage, if you want to rise in your career, if you want to increase your value, you need to start shifting away from that mindset and start to take the direction of the company a bit more personal. It doesn't mean personal to the point that it's your company, but having a vested interest. Where are we going? You don't have to be the CEO. You need to know what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis. How is this helping the organization? Is there a better way I can achieve this objective? You have to have that curiosity, and that curiosity will spur your creativity. Because if you're not concerned with what's happening to the company, if you don't participate in idea generation, then, my friend, eventually, at one point in time, if everyone is like that, the company might close, or you may become stagnant and stuck in your career because you're not exhibiting that you're invested in this, that you care about where the company is going, that you're concerned about the performance of the company. If you're in employment, you need to start paying more attention to that, asking questions, not in a rude way or in a bad way, but just like How can we get this done? Where can I help? Going beyond the job description, right? Going beyond the pigeonhole of your profession. If I'm an accountant, I need to sit with my marketeers and like, all right, what's the challenge you have right now in communicating to customers? I may not have the answer, but just having a better appreciation for that, showing that concern, I could even help them figure out. I could be a sounding board for them. I could, help them in a brainstorming session by using the insight I have from numbers. All right, I notice sales are usually like this, or I notice this, or I notice that people buy, this is what the numbers and the analysis show, that people buy this size of our product more than this one, or consume this service more than the other one. And just by having such conversations, you can increase your value, get more idea generation going, and bring benefit to your company. And trust me, your boss will be very happy about that. I hope you got some value in this video today. Please comment and let me know what has stood out with you. Do you have anything to share? What's your experience like? Share this video with other people. And if you're new here, welcome. Continue to tune in by subscribing, hit the notification bell so that you can be alerted when we have new videos, where I'm here to help you make more money, to think freely, create unapologetically, and to live abundantly. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Go get that money.